What it do, what it world, your minds on them file shot and reporting on the bamboozle again news network. And this will be along the lines of certain talking points I've had in recent videos, right? Sun going down or whatnot, excuse me, if it seemed a little darker. But these are dark times, and this is a dark topic, so I'm shedding light on it, you understand me? Now, a while back, I did a video, I guess, about, I don't know, women or, whatever, right? And then Miss Brandy Wilson asked me to do a video on deadbeat dads, right? And I really didn't know any, just trying to think, or was attached to any at that current state and time. But now that I think about it, and based on new news, right, I do one of the greatest bamboozling Negroes that I personally know of. And we all had, well, me and this individual have a mutual circle of friends. I've known him since I was 19. I lived with his family when they moved up here from Maryland, from Louisiana, right? So I just got off the phone with his brother. Now, in his brother, like in their family, his brother is the proverbial chosen one. He never got the support, He's in the dental industry now, you know what I'm saying? He had his kids taken from when the woman left, and then I guess she petitioned him, got him back. You know what I'm saying? So me and him was rapping on the really reels on the man tip, right? So we bring up his oldest brother, right? And I've had my personal experience with him, right? So amongst our circle of friends, we all know the man lied bad. But he's so delusional in narcissism, it won't allow him to understand that, these people are on to me, right? So how to kick off, whereas though, me and him just get to chopping it up, and then we wind up on a conversation of his brother. Now, Calvin, why are you telling us this? Because I want to, and because we're in the exposure season. Like, it's amazing how people have gotten away with this for 20 some odd years, like Diddy and them. Everybody know it, but somehow you can't bring them justice, or somehow they keep skating through, or whatever the case may be. Me, myself, I go through hell doing what's right, you know what I'm saying? But it comes with the spiritual journey that's created long suffering. And long-windedness, as I talked about earlier today, right? So we get to talking about him, right? So then we were highlighting his brother has 2 kids, the one that's the chosen one, right? And how he had his kids snatched from him. We have similar issues with just custody and things of that nature, right? So then we go, the conversation hops to his brother, right? Who, to my understanding, until I just talked to the brother, he had 2 set of kids here in Maryland, right? And he redshirted the girl and first started dealing with her when she was underage, right? Eventually, later on down the line, his oldest kid's mom, I ended up dealing with her mother, you know what I'm saying? Which at the time when I was dealing with her, I was about 24, 25, which had I murdered, and I told y'all that story about when I faked the seizure in the courthouse, it would have made me a step grandfather at 25, whatever, right? Then I don't know if, we lost track or typically I move around a lot, but, we always stay in contact somehow, some way. And then I was aware of a young lady he had got with and moved to the Massachusetts area. And I think she had some Asian in her or something. But then I told y'all the story. Now, this is when he transitioned into, the Geno Jennings flock. And I kind of questioned the authenticity of it. But I say, hey, anybody can change, whoop, 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 right? What happened after that? Oh, so his girl at that time in Massachusetts had posted this picture of this other woman he was supposedly cheating with. His brother tells me, now, like I say, I've never known the man to work. The last time I seen that man work is when I got him a job and threw him an alley-oop, him and all the young homies in the neighborhood, right? That's the last time I've actually known this man to have a job, right? So he said he met her at work, which probably mean online dating. Because that's another thing. I can't meet nobody online, but he can routinely hit buckets. I don't know how they do it. I guess the bamboozler get his stuff, right? So he goes up Massachusetts, right? He has 2 babies with this particular woman. And then, he's, how they stunt in front, right? So he'll call me back in Maryland talking about, I got this going on. I got this. I bought this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm questioning it. And then it always seemed like he would tell it in like a sense of like flexing, you know what I'm saying? But now anybody can change, but in the back of my mind, my spidey sense, I'm like, he's stunting in front, right? So then I guess the woman kicks him out for cheating, right? During the time when he was doing all this online preaching when he had discovered Geno Jennings and he was in his flock and whatever, right? Excuse me. So then what happened after that? So then he starts calling me, but now I'm in the first part of my wilderness season because I can't send you no money. And then I'm thinking to myself, I never got around to asking him. I'm like, yo, the last time I talked to you before you started just calling me, profusely, you were saying how, you had this going on, you worked at this place. So if you got all this money, why are you calling me asking me for money? You know what I'm saying? If the house in your name, why are you out, or why you just can't get another apartment or rent a hotel, whatever, right? So at this point in time, then he called me with some narrative talking about he wanted to beat this man husband up because I guess to find another roof to get over his head, he found a Jezebel who was willing to mess around with him, but she's still holding on and messing around with her actual husband. And he tell me he want to beat the husband up. And my internal alarm system went on. I said, cuz you all in the wrong, and you want to beat the man wife up, not because he's intruding on your relationship, because he's intruding on the roof over top of your head. So that go how that go. Then I get word he had somehow got back to Maryland. So I'm like, all right, so that's when I go up there, right? Yeah, I goes up there. Well, no, I went to where he was at in Maryland to visit him, right? To see the man lay eyeballs on him face to face, right? Now, the only time I hadn't seen him in a while, I knew him to have certain proclivities, but I don't want to just judge people because I don't know. But I feel like whatever, right? So when I see the man, he exhibited none of the traits that he was talking about online when he was doing all this online preaching. No humility. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see the version of him online that he was presenting to me in real life, right? So he telling me all this, but I don't see. I'm like, yeah, okay, cuz, woo. And then he back, what was that thing back then? POF. I don't even know if that's still a thing. He's still looking for females on POF. But I'm like, then he was causing all these disturbances, at his mom's house. Had his sister boyfriend living there. They getting into it. He trying to, what my man Iron in the Soul say. Witchcraft is essentially the equation of domination, intimidation, and manipulation. And he was exhibiting all three, right? So they don't hear from him. Come to find out, he had found some woman on POF. Got with her. He done already put 2 babies in her. He put 2 babies in every woman he meet, right? And then supposedly they're living wherever they living at. But he always tell me something wrong. And then because I still have attachment, I don't have attachment, but we had prior experience with, a similar group of friends. Periodically, my ex-girlfriend will reach out to me to locate him because her oldest daughter has kids by him. And she'll try to find out his whereabouts through me or if I talk to him. Because he'll tell these people, like Hitler said, if you tell a big enough story and tell it often enough, eventually people believe it. He'll tell these people he on a secret agent. No, true story. I'm working undercover with Homeland. So, he'll tell them anything. And then I won't tell them. But he'll be like, oh, I'm in Baltimore City. You know what I'm saying? Like, but of course, the deadbeat. And I don't mean just deadbeat financially, but deadbeat spiritually, deadbeat internally, deadbeat mentally, right? So he don't pay no child support, right? So that's an oxymoron, like you say, oh, I'm doing this, doing that. But how you doing that? And child support looking for you, right? Because the last time I talked to them, they were trying to find him to ask him about something or, whatever he needs to do something for the child or woo. And that went however that went. But that's when he told me he was a secret agent for the Department of Homeland Security, but living right across the street from Copper State University. You know what I'm saying? They wild, Joe. Man, cuz, wow, me and his brother was tripping off of him. Because me, I like to trip off people. I use people for my entertainment purpose. Because if not, they make you depressed, right? So then his brother tells me another situation in which, that I didn't know of, that his other baby mom is looking for him. So I go through the 3 I know of. He like, nah. He was like, before the first one that I knew of, and the second one that lived in Massachusetts, he had another one in which his brother talks about how he redshirted her, which means he was dealing with her when she was prior to being 18. And I noticed this, and I don't know if it's a spirit. Now, he's been doing this for years. And ain't never been brought to, not even justice, but has never got the consequences for his actions. You know what I'm saying? And he's done people foul. Like all the females, like they don't like vex him and do, like they actually hate the man guts. Like they want to do something to him or get their family member to do something to him, right? So he tells me about this particular woman who was actually 16, 17 years old when he was dealing with her and got her pregnant. And he owed like 30 grand just for her. But child support can't catch up with him because child support don't know where he at. And child support don't know where he at because he don't work no real job. in which, you got to put down your social, and then that triggered the system, and then they locate you. But if you see this man online, because he had just inboxed me out of nowhere, maybe last month or something, from a new page, and I just blocked that page. Like, I ain't even respond. I just blocked the new page he had inboxed me from. Like, there's no point in talking unless I want to trip off of him. But I don't even feel like hearing. I got some other stuff to deal with. You know what I mean? But this is just highlighting, as I'm saying it, these people putting on a form of godliness and denying the power thereof, or putting on this cloak of religion and donning themselves in that. And not just, you got a struggle or you in a certain place. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about living totally reprehensible to even the standards of the heathen. You know what I'm talking about? This is crazy. This is crazy. And then he's like 30 grand in debt just for that one child. He don't take care of none of his kids. But one thing about it, and I kind of get mad, be totally honest with you, is somehow he's able to routinely bamboozle these women. But what other skill does the bamboozler have other than bamboozling? You know what I'm talking about? So this is just a case study from my real life experience of people that I know. Let's be leery of these overly religious people who have no humility or meekness about them. When they're over the top pushing God and scripture and all that, it's overcompensating for the lack that what you just said out your mouth really ain't in your soul and your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Attempting to overly convince people who you are. Eventually they'll just see it anyway. But they use like the pastor man or the Hebrew Israelite man, for the most part, in these cults, from what I've seen. Again, I call it a cult, right? The hyper, and he does this. He does the hyper masculine thing. I'm a man's man. How you a man's man? Don't work nowhere, don't generate no finance. You know what I'm saying? But then, and me and his brother was talking about this prior. What he does is he'll hop online and make this rhetoric about scripturally women need to be this. But then I'm thinking in my mind, if your situation is scriptural, right, why are you worried about what the women in the world, or the fact that the women in the world aren't operating scripturally? How do you even see that when you in a harmonious relationship? But he does that in an attempt to hold his woman in check because she got all the leverage and she taking care of him. And she probably don't know the word to the degree he know it. You know what I'm saying? To compensate and cover up for the fact that he's living unscriptural as in practicality as a man. But again, I was telling his brother, that game only run but so far. Because if I'm 42, he's probably trending on, let's say 37, 38. He getting up there. Eventually, once you cross that 40-year-old threshold, you darn near, let's say, close to 6 figures in debt and child support. You choose not to work nowhere, or you don't find a way to start an LLC and hustle like that and hide the money and whoop. Eventually, her taking care of this man gonna get old. She can find a younger model that she can take and then jam him up for child support. But he knows this, so he has to put on the donning of intimidation subtly and over hyper masculinity. Because if that illusion is stripped away, she'll see him for what he is. And she probably already see him for what he is. It just don't behoove her at this point in time, the way the system set up, to get rid of him, because the children probably still young. He'd a live-in house husband, you know what I'm saying, stay-at-home house husband. He ain't got no problem with that. He can portray whatever, on social media, but in real life, she got all the leverage. And she probably talked to him all while, and then he'll make a post about women need to operate scripturally and all that. Man. And these, as Pimp C said, and these are the brothers who are poisoning the coochie population, yeah? This is yet another case study on the bamboozling bully coon Negro and its various components. So when you see these Negro, if you're a man, or like say if you're a brother, you just don't pay them no mind, you trip off of them. But if you're a woman, typically what they'll do is they'll present themselves outwardly as the epitome of masculinity and responsibility, right? You know what I'm saying? They'll say all the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? My man, that's his brother, actually told me he ended up stealing his money and used the money to get married to the woman, but then when they pull it back, they already got their fangs in you. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad. I know we talk about, especially me, the pitfalls of the modern woman. But I also must highlight the pitfalls of the bamboozling Negro And they all over the place. Now, of course, I don't highlight as much as maybe I should, because I don't deal with them, and it don't vex me none, because it's not like I'm, you know what I'm saying? But these brothers all over the bully coon, bamboozling, slit talking. Like, if they stop talking, they would, like, okay, they gotta keep talking rather, because if they stop talking, then you'll actually remember the fact you ain't seen them do none of the stuff they talking about. That's a telltale trick and sign of the bamboozler. A constant fapping at the mouth. You know what I'm saying? As I become more masculine along my journey, more responsible, more consistent, more stoic, more insightful, foresight, vision, so on and so forth. As I gain greater levels of internal masculinity, I notice I stopped talking as much, other than coming on here on YouTube and telling y'all what I've learned. But this just a quick one though. Be on the lookout, cover your six, cause and then with the economy going the way it's going and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Watch out there now. It's real in the battlefield. And all that nose getting dark and signing off. Ooh,